Is it possible that you and I, as parents, as Christians, are putting too much emphasis on the issue of virginity? Please remember my disclaimer. I think virginity is good. I think it is grand. I think it is something that a child should strive for until they're married. But the question is why? Why? Why do we want our child to be pure before they enter into the marriage bed? Why do we want our children not to commit any sin? Really should be the question. Because it's sin and it's a violation of God's law. And yet we've put so much emphasis, perhaps, on the subject of virginity that we've elevated it almost into a special class of sin. Now, don't get me wrong. I think it is a special issue. But is it the end-all, be-all? Dramatic recreation number one. Imagine I had a conversation with my son about the sin of lying. Son, you know it's important for your marriage that before you get into a covenant relationship with another woman, that you never tell a lie. Don't lie. If you do, your marriage will not be the same. You do not want to have to tell your spouse that you are a liar. Son, thanks for moving over there to the other camera. Son, lying is so horrific. I'm telling you, your whole marriage, it will be Neil Diamond, Love on the Rocks. You'll just have to Google Neil Diamond because you're too young for that, and we don't play that kind of music anymore in this house. Lying, son. Don't lie. Whatever you do, stay pure with your tongue. Don't lie, boy. Don't lie. Now imagine you're my son. Whoa, okay, I'm not gonna lie. I better not lie before I get married. The pressure, all the other sins, whatever, whoopty, I'm gonna go look at porn as long as I'm not lying here. And then imagine my poor child, one day, that's your cue, scoot. One day, your child actually tells a lie. Whoa, what is the message to our child? Well, son, you lied before marriage. I'm not even sure that you can say I do to that girl now. What are we telling our children when we say the same thing about virginity? What are we telling them? You can't get married now? Your marriage is forever to be doomed because you didn't remain a virgin? Dramatic recreation number two. Let's say you're a father, and one day you hear a knock on the door. And one day you hear a knock on the door. Come in, and somebody shows up. What do you know? They want to start courting your daughter. Hi, young, you gonna come in here eventually? Hi, young man. What's your name?
My name is Victor. I'm a virgin.
Oh,
yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That alliteration works nicely for you.
Yeah, it does.
And why are you here, young man?
Well, I was actually, since I'm a virgin, I don't know if I mentioned that, but
You did.
Because I'm a virgin, I mean, if your daughter is a virgin too, I would like to court her.
Oh, you want to court my daughter?
Yeah, I was going to ask your permission because I'm
Well,
a
that's
virgin.
very. Right, you had mentioned that you're actually a virgin, so you would like to. Did you say if she's a virgin?
I mean, yeah. I mean, she may not. You know what? I'm gonna head out.
Well, I didn't say she's not. I'm just saying, what if she's not a virgin? Okay, that's one guy who could show up at your door. That's one fellow who's a Christian, who has put a lot of emphasis on virginity, both for himself and for his bride-to-be. And as soon as he sniffs that your daughter isn't a virgin, he's out of there because apparently she's not good enough for marriage. Why? Because she sinned. And so now he cannot enter into a covenant relationship with a sinner? Now imagine a second fellow came to your door. That's pretty good. Come in. And this time, if you could make it snappy, that would be great. Hi there, young man. What's your name?
Hi, my name's Gary.
Hi, Gary. What?
Hi.
No alliteration?
I'm a Christian.
Oh, you're a Christian?
Yeah.
I see. Are you a virgin?
No, but since that point in my life, I've come to understand the glory of a gospel that would save someone even as wicked as I was.
I see. So, Gary, why are you here?
I'm actually here to ask your permission to court your daughter.
Uh-huh. And Gary, what if my daughter isn't a virgin?
Well, the gospel has showed me the grace that it's shown me, and I've come to understand that. And, you know, I don't want to be equally yoked with someone. So if she understands the same gospel that I understand, the Bible, that God would save her and I, even though we're wicked, even with the sin of not being faithful, I still would like to court your daughter.
I see. All righty, thanks, Gary. Huh. Now that's fellow number... You don't have to leave. Some programs actually script their dramas. There you have it. There would be 2 different fellows who come knocking at your door. Now, all things being equal, let's say Victor the virgin, did he mention he's a virgin, and Gary the gospel guy are both actually Christians. Which one would potentially be more of interest to you as a father? The one who was seeking somebody who was a virgin because he was a virgin but didn't seem to really understand the gospel? Or do you want the kid who sinned, who has fallen, even with sexual sins, but has repented of it and now has a far more profound understanding of the glories of the gospel? Dad, I'm asking you, which one would you prefer? Now, I'm going to assume, Mom, same thing for you, that you'd be more inclined to think, you know, I want Gary the gospel guy. There's your alliteration. Gary the gospel, I want Gary the grace guy. Now, grace doesn't work because that makes it sound like Gary's maybe got a little confusion. Okay, Gary the gospel guy seems to really understand something, and I want him, whether my daughter's a virgin or not, whether my daughter is a virgin or not, whether my daughter is a virgin or not, I want the kid who understands the gospel, where the gospel has been applied to his life. Mom, Dad, wouldn't you agree? Now, what about the issue of, let's say, Gary not being a virgin and your daughter is? Are you willing to say, honey, this is somebody that you can pursue? Or might you be committing the same confusion that we actually heap onto our children? If you aren't willing to say, honey, there's a young man who desires to court you, and you need to know that he hasn't remained pure, but he understands the gospel, and so do we. He's been forgiven, and because God doesn't see classes of Christians, he, if you will, is a virgin too. And we give you permission to start spending time with that fellow because you understand the gospel. Might I ask you, do you understand it to that level? I'm just asking. If not, might I challenge you to just rethink through the issue of virginity and find the correct balance, whatever that might be, and make sure what is holding up that balance is the fulcrum, the arm of the gospel.